Lines of voters all across Washington state, it's all about election integrity. And if we're ever going to turn Washington state at least purple, we need to get more people on the right engaged in our elections. Voter turnout is way too low. Someone who's trying to help is my next guest, Scott Pressler, who is in town trying to get folks to not just trust the system, but give them reason to trust the system. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Good morning.
So, how has this trip gone so far? You're here for voter ID law, but not just that.
Yes, well, this is my first real adventure in Washington state, and much to the chagrin of the Democrats, I'm sure they had the force was disturbed as soon as I landed in Seattle. But I'm here because so many people, I think, feel hopeless and they feel disenchanted with our elections in a only vote by mail state, where a lot of people feel that there is fraud and only vote by mail. And so I'm trying to give people confidence in our elections again. And we know that Olympia is not going to act. We know that Ferguson is not going to act. And we know the Democrats are happy with how things are. So the only way that we can create real positive change is by collecting signatures to force either the legislators in Olympia to act, or we'll force it on the November 2026 ballot. And so I encourage everyone to sign the petition to get proof of citizenship in order to register to vote in beautiful Washington state.
So I have a suggestion as well, and this is might be something. And I've said this before. Start snitching on all these illegal immigrants that are here in this state, and stop giving a damn about what other people think about you. Because I remember again, and I've asked many people about this question. What do y'all want to see happen that can improve Washington State? And they say less traffic. Who do you think is causing causing some of this traffic? Let's be honest. If you want to actually fight for this state, y'all want to see the state be flipped red, and yes, I know there's a lot of people don't have hope. Snitch on these illegal immigrants. Quite that simple.
So, how would that work in a vote by mail state?
Sure. Well, Jim Walsh, the representative who I've been traveling around the whole state, he says that not only is it going to act to make sure that people that are getting registered to vote have that proof of residency, but it will also work almost a little bit retroactively, and that it's going to be an auditing
Yeah.
of the rolls even going into the future when people re-register to vote, when they get their driver's license, etc. And so that would be the coolest component of this, is it's not only for the future, but it will help to audit our roles as
And
well.
it's pretty basic of just wanting to show that you are a resident of Washington state. It
Right.
is remarkable how the left has been able to pivot on this one issue and pretend that everything is 100% on the up and up, and there's not even the possibility of fraud.
Yes. Well, and some people are saying, but Scott, you already have to be a citizen when you register. Certainly you have to check that you're a citizen, but that's very much the honor code. And so what I'm hearing from Democrats, or even some people who may not be happy about this, is they're saying, well, it's already the law. Well, if it's already the law and you're not mad about that, then shouldn't you be celebrating our democratic work, going across the state to engage with voters and provide more choices on the ballot for them to be heard democratically? And so really, I say this is what democracy looks like.
You know something? I think I have a lot of suggestions for this, for Washington State, because I've been watching a lot of different people. I've been checking out, watching the young Republicans. And what I've noticed is that a lot of people are not paying attention to what Trump method was. And I don't think it's registering into a lot of people's heads, because it seems like when you're out here, a lot of people, I don't think a lot of people have a sense of humor out here. I don't know why, but when I'm in certain areas, and a lot of people know me so far in, specific areas, I usually liven up the place, and it seems like a lot of people are more excited to see me as a person. And it's like, it's kind of dull when you don't, how should I say, you don't give them to a reason to actually reach the people. I know, yes, the balance is a situation. However, you there's a lot of work that needs to be done here. And in order to tap in, you have to be the ultimate troll. Now, I'm not going to say that I have a lot of ideas on my plate and I'm actually getting things done and getting stuff together, but I do. And yes, going to city council meetings is one thing, but making it highly noticeable is a whole different story. I mean, not just on YouTube and not just in the city council meetings, but I'm talking about out in the open. Like, think about it. You want some viral moments, you have to make it get very noticeable. And yes, I'm putting in some kind of work, but you don't realize you got to hit them where it hurts. You really have to hit them where it hurts. You have to really literally get every single one of these Democratic people, like, you got to hit them hard. And in order for them to do this, you have to be that ultimate troll. You have to make fun of them. You have to make them look like a bunch of fools. You have to do everything to embarrass their fucking reputation. Because whether you believe it or not, I did a video a couple of days ago on Miss Yeager, who is getting ridiculed for saying something that she has every right to say. And this is gossipy as fuck, honestly, in my opinion. However, that was one of the lamest ways of trying to make someone look bad. You have to go hard on these people. No diddy. You have to go hard on these people, though. You really have to put pressure on these Democrats. And what y'all are doing is not enough pressure that's being put on them. Y'all are just pretty much, it's kind of bland. It's honestly kind of bland. You can go from door to door, that's fine, but you gotta apply so much pressure on these people where they will not be able to take the heat. I'm just being honest.
It is what democracy looks like. One of the issues that you no doubt have already heard from or experienced is that there are a lot of Republicans who assume that the system is completely corrupted and that there is nothing that can be done in order to win elections, which is a very self-defeating attitude for Republicans to take. There's clearly instances of fraud that we can all point to. But the system itself, we're not seeing stolen elections. We're just seeing Republicans who choose not to vote, assuming an election is going to be stolen. And what do they need to steal an election for if people aren't actually voting?
Well, my main message in being here is I want to give people hope and I want to drive people power. So again, if Olympia is not going to act, if Congress is not going to act, this is your best opportunity. To anybody that's watching this, please go to wagop.org and you can download the petition. You can print it off yourself, sign it, get your family to sign it, and then mail it to the Washington GOP office. You don't have to wait for me to come to your area in order to sign it. You can do this yourself. So to anyone that since 2020 or even before that has been really wanting and demanding election integrity, this is your opportunity. We're handing it to you on a silver platter, but I need your help. And I'm going to Oregon. We're going to collect signatures to end automatic vote by mail. I'm going to California. We're collecting signatures to get voter ID. And so I want my time here to be a reflection on if the people want change, well, it's got to come from you, Washingtonians.
Well, what are some of the lessons you've learned as you've toured the country? And obviously, you were really active during this last presidential election. Yes. Pennsylvania was a really big effort on your part and the Republican Party as a whole. But you were able to really, truly move the needle. What did you learn there that you're taking to places like Washington?
The biggest challenge in 2024 was making people believe that we could win. And I'm going to say it, I'm not afraid of saying it, the 2020 election was stolen.
I believe that too. I actually believe that 2020 election is true. And I believe a lot of people who were involved were legal immigrants. Either that or something else was behind it, because there's no way that he won by that large of a margin. There's no way. And most of the stuff happened in blue states. There's no way. Honestly, I might have to put some pressure on these people. I'm going to put some pressure on these people. I know, well, let me get to a little bit more of this.
And what we learned from that is it disenchanted a lot of people and they felt so hopeless. And so here I am traveling, barnstorming the country, going into Pennsylvania, and I really am trying to bang on every door to get them to turn out. And so the language we were using was make the election too big to rig and beat the cheat. And so, guys, we won. Mm-hmm. Donald Trump won the popular vote. And it was Washingtonians that helped deliver the popular vote for President Trump.
Well, let me put it like this, and I'm going to say this in a very... I want people to understand this. I'm not going to beat around the bush. If y'all have hope, let's put it like this. If y'all have hope for, y'all are fans of Seattle Seahawks, and y'all are fans of Mariners, and y'all are fans of, every team that y'all have in this state. And I see a huge fan base when it comes to the Seattle Seahawks and the Mariners. If y'all believe in those teams and what they're capable of doing, because y'all like highly love those teams. If y'all believe in those teams, then y'all should be able to believe that y'all can actually make this state great. There's no excuse. Let's put if you want to succeed in life, what are you going to do? Continue to be hopeless? Or are you going to put in the work? I said this, I think I've said this before. Trump does so much for me that I was able to accumulate as much money as possible. And I've seen my uncle do this as well before he retired. Have you ever in your life seen over $100,000 right in front of your face? Like straight up cash. The amount of people who put in the work in order to make that type of money within a year, it's very possible. Y'all have to get rid of that word hope. Y'all have to stop being hopeless. You have to put in the work. And somebody told me this, which I do, is to go to the city council meetings. If you don't go to the city council meetings, make it noticeable. Stop giving a fuck about what other people think. Because a lot of people, believe it or not, will respect you and your freedom of speech. I say what I want on this platform. And some people say I curse too much. I don't care. I know when I need to control. Y'all have to put a lot of pressure on these people. Because what they're trying to make you do is bow down to them. Don't let that happen. You have to keep applying pressure. Whether they like it or not, they're not going to stop, and they're not going to stop until you fold. So you need to do the exact same thing and make them fold. Make them shut the fuck up. Tell them to stay away from you and let you do what you have to do to make this state great. If people are able to come together in one stadium and root for their favorite team, they're able to come together and do the same thing to flip this state red. That is no excuse behind that. You put in the money to actually go and support your favorite team, then you could put in the effort to actually flip this state red with no excuse. Shout out to Jason Rance for this video. I actually about to finish watching this video, but I'm gonna definitely leave a description. I'm gonna leave a link to this video in the description down below. But we're gonna have to do something, and guess what? I have a lot of plotting to do. I have a lot of plans, and if I miss a day, it's because I'm putting in some work as far as changing everything and applying so much pressure, because evidently I'm getting some notoriety, pissing some people off talking about these Democrats. So what I'm gonna do is try to kick it up a notch, and y'all gonna see what happens. So let me know y'all thoughts in the comment section down below.